Anguish, heartache, frustration expressed across Israel today, 1 year after the October 7th terror attack. Mourners remember the more than 1,200 people killed and about 250 who were initially taken hostage. Some demonstrators demanded the Israeli government make a ceasefire deal to get the hostages back. Combat continues in Gaza, where, according to the Hamas-run health ministry, more than 41,000 people have been killed. They don't specify how many of those people were Hamas fighters. At the site of the Nova Music Festival, where hundreds were killed, mourners heard the song that had been playing 1 year earlier as gunmen stormed the concert, slaughtering hundreds. At Kibbutz Nir Oz, mourners remembered the close-knit community where about 1 in 4 people were murdered or kidnapped. Among those taken from Nir Oz that day were members of the Bibas family. Parents Yarden and Shiri Bibas and their children, Ariel, who was 4, and Kafir, who was 9 months old. Kafir is the youngest person kidnapped that day. Shiri Bibas' parents were murdered that day. Last year, just days after the attack, I spoke with Shiri's cousin, Ifat Seiler.
The only thing that helps me be sane right now is sitting here with you and showing their faces and telling their story. I want my family back. Please, I want my family back. I'm trying to be strong and stoic and speak clearly, but I'm devastated. I'm devastated. I don't know what else to do.
That was a year ago. Ifat Seiler attended the memorial service at Kibbutz Nir Oz today, and I spoke to her earlier. I think about Kafir and Ariel a lot since we talked over the last year, and the idea of them in captivity like this it's unthinkable.
I don't think there are words to describe how I feel. I feel a personal failure, that they're still there. You heard me talk and ask and plead for help. And now, a year later, I feel that I'm losing the legitimacy to talk about them to the world. As if what happened to us is justified. I'm worried. We are in this in-between situation that we don't know, and no one is taking accountability about them. Entire family have just vanished. They were taken from us a year ago and we don't know nothing.
You said you feel at times like you don't have legitimacy to talk about them. Why?
A year ago, when we sat in the park, it was before the ground invasion. The war changed a lot in the world's opinion, in where they stand, and how they feel towards how my government actions this war is horrible. When I talk about our 2 beautiful boys, I get asked a lot, okay, but you know there are a lot of children who died on the other side, in Gaza. And my heart is broken. I don't want to see any child die or being hurt or lose their parents. And I try to remind everyone that Kfir and Ariel are children too, with no political point of view. I was born to a home who believed in a 2-state solution. We're not violent people. We don't glorify death or want to kill whomever is different from us. This is not who we are, and this is what I hear. But October 7th happened to us, and it broke everything that I believe in, that there are people like me on the other side who just want to live. We've been doing everything we can this past year to talk about my family, to talk about Ariel and Kfir, to explain who we are, what happened to us. When we spoke, I thought my aunt and uncle were kidnapped as well. 2 weeks later, we found out they were burned alive in their home in Kibbutz Nir Oz. I'm in my darkest times and I can still find compassion, but I don't feel that compassion from the world anymore towards us. And you can hate my government. You can criticize their action. But don't hate us. Don't justify what happened to us as a means to free Palestine. I never in my life thought that these words will come out of my mouth. This is not how you free Palestine, by taking a 9-month-old baby from his home and no one is saying anything.
You feel like the world does not care.
I feel it's very complicated. I understand it's very complicated, but at the end of the day, we are all people, we are all humans, and a crime was committed against us too. And all sides should be accountable. I don't hear the same criticism towards Hamas. I'm sorry. We stand in the street. We shout. We want to change things here. This is a democratic country. I can say whatever I want. I feel free. Why don't we hear anything from Gaza towards the Hamas leadership, towards Yahya Sinwar? People tell me they are afraid. These are the voices that you should hear more. I know about every child who died in Gaza. I saw the photos. I looked through the photos that were sent to us because someone thought they saw a little boy with red head. Countless bodies. I know what's happening over there. I'm asking, does someone on the other side know about what happened to us? They know about Kfir and Ariel. Do they know what Hamas did to us? Do the pro-Palestinian rallies in your colleges, do they know about Kfir and Ariel? About my cousin Shirin and her husband Yarden? I feel like I have to somehow be the explain my country, but I can't. I can't explain an entire conflict. But I will never justify violence. And the generational effect of all of this cycle of vengeance. And just now I'm coming out of the shelter because bombs from Lebanon are being fired into the center of Israel. And I have to find the strength and to do this because it's not over. And I will never stop until they're back.
Yifat, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Yifat Siler. We'll be right back.